Hi, I'm Dr. Alan Altman, and we're here today with Jack Myers, a media ecologist and author of Hooked Up, a new generation's surprising take on sex, politics, and saving the world. Hi, I'm here with Jack Myers, author of Hooked Up, a new generation's surprising take on sex, politics, and saving the world. Well, hooked up, we spoke before about these hooked up type of relationships, and I mentioned to you that these young people are hooking up, whether it's friends with benefits or fuck buddies or something like that, and to somebody of my generation, it seems like those relationships are going to be relatively shallow. And you have a different take on that.
I do have a different take on that. I think they're short term, and they're focused, and they're dedicated to having mutual needs fulfilled, whether they be sexual needs or personal needs or needs related to getting homework done. But they're very social, they're very engaged, and they're long term online. But sexually, neither men nor women, and especially women, are interested in long-term relationships. It doesn't mean they're superficial. It doesn't mean they're shallow. What they don't want are roots to be dug into the earth. They don't want to be established in something that they can't move. They want the freedom to have their futures defined by themselves and not by the relationships they're in. And in that context, especially women are really focused on their future. They want marriage, they want family, but at some future time in their lives. And in the meantime, sex for them is fun. And men for them are fun. They like the male culture, cars, beer, sex, and they'll enjoy it, but it's not what they're going to drill down and have for their whole lives.
I love it. I wanted to go one of two directions, but you brought me one of those directions. They love the male things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned as a sexual medicine specialist that we know that men and women are equal at this point, sociologically.
By the way, I'm not sure they are equal.
Not completely in some situations.
I think women are more equal than men these days.
You got it.
Okay.
I'm with you there. But men or women are not the same, and they're never going to be the same. They're not meant to be the same. You've hit upon part of the concern I have, and that is that women are taking on more male sexual roles in guiding the relationship and liking the male stuff, in being strong at work and carrying this moving up aggressively.
I have to stop you, Alan, because
into the bedroom.
You're defining those roles as male roles.
Maleness versus
society
femaleness.
has defined.
Well, but so have
roles.
genes. So
has probably the history of mankind.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the history of womankind may be very different. It's a role that's been imposed on them, and I think we're seeing the first wave of women really breaking out, thanks to the first wave of feminism, the second wave of Gloria Steinem. This is the third wave of feminism.
You're right,
where they're
but
defining the roles for themselves.
That's cultural. I'm talking about genes.
I would agree with you.
What we're hardwired
I think
for.
The fundamental DNA of the generations who are growing up with the internet are changing. The fundamental DNA is changing. And I think it's changing in many ways. I think they're looking at the world and acting in the world in a way that's very different, and the DNA is in fact changing. And I think the use of the brain is expanding. I think we're using more of the brain in many different ways, and most of it is because we're growing up in an internet-based society where there is a different level of equality, a different level of socialization.
Well, there's precedent for that, because we do know now in this age, medically, and with real good backing and research, that the environment, your personal environment, can have an impact on your DNA and what you pass on. So that's really fascinating. We'll look forward to talking more about that.
I do too.